Good morning in New Mexico, in the United States of America. For quite a few of us, it is a Christmas time. For others of us, it is other activities of consciousness where a huge amount of humanity is gathering in an aligned activity of connection. It makes everything very significant. Doesn't matter if we celebrate Christmas or not, doesn't matter if we celebrate Hanukkah or Ramadan or any of the traditional things. It matters that a collective amount of humanity is um, faced with a celebration season. Let's just take that in, that a huge amount of humanity is confronted with a celebration moment. I'm very curious about some things today. I'm very curious, or if you're watching this video, I'm very curious if you have noticed a couple of things. I wonder if you've noticed that there's this pressure, almost this pushback. I'm not quite sure yet, but there's almost this pressure, this pushback against our to-do list. That doesn't mean we're not to do. But the most curious thing happened. I have not been inclined to purchase gifts this year. I'm not saying I'm a person who thinks it's wrong to purchase gifts. In fact, I love gifts. And for a long time, uh, everybody around me that gets gifts knows that I only buy gifts that are relevant. If nothing's relevant, I don't buy gifts just to have a gift. So I go into my brother's and his wife's and her sister's house uh, Christmas Day and then for the next 4 or 5 days. And I couldn't bring myself to go purchase just something because I'm pretty sure they'll have gifts for me. I needed it to be relevant. And and I was to the wall. Christina, my office manager, is on vacation. There were breakdowns in the people getting product and people getting things that they were to get notified to be on calls, and so there's a big brouhaha going on in the office work, and I was under pressure to get what was up in front of me done. And then yesterday, this amazing kind of event occurred. There's a store I love in the town square, in Old Town Square in Albuquerque. But I didn't know where it was. In fact, where I thought it was totally not where it was. And but that was the only thing bugging me, is I wanted to get a fetish. I hope that isn't offensive to people. A fetish would be the equivalent in native language to a good luck charm. I wanted to get a fetish for my brother. I wanted him to have good luck. It's fairly simple. So so it just lined up, and I wanted Timeless C, and I had my daughter's dog, Kevin. I'm his grandmother, and it just lined up magically, really magically. And one of the things we're exploring in iMagi is magic, and getting a direct relationship with it, and having it belong to us, and and us belong to it, basically. That's the original nature of a human being, so it would seem that would be an ideal thing to do over the next years. So, but we ended up down at Old Town, and everything just fell into place. Everything. And I still couldn't find the store. But in the meantime, C wandered, and I found a great hat for my son. I'm not going to say on Facebook Live in case someone that knows him is watching. And he loves those, baseball type caps. And I found things that I found myself enlivened and enthusiastic and excited. It really there's both the personal and the non or the transpersonal aspect to gift giving. I think there's the personal, call wanting to someone to know you're thinking about them and that you care about them. But there's also the transpersonal, where you're really connecting. You're connecting them into their direct link with creation. You're honoring who they are as a unique and essential aspect of creation. So we found the store I was talking about, which I am not kidding, is nowhere where I thought it was at all. It was on the corner. I thought it was at the end of the street, tucked in between these other big stores, but actually was part of a big store. So that goes to show you that perception is not always accurate. But it was amazing to be in there. I just adore these two people. They're a husband and wife. They've been there for decades. And they basically purchase things to this minute. I don't know the name of it, by the way, but it's on the corner opposite the church. That much I can tell you in the square if you're ever around. And but they're direct buyers. They buy from the Navajo Nation. So when you go in there, they have the pictures of the craftsmen, craftswomen, and who did it, and they have all the meanings of the fetishes in this case that were created, and it's just super cool. It's just really super cool, and and it's just wonderful to be with them. They're of it, and they are one with it, and they're lovely. So being in there and finding the pieces of Navajo art and magic totems that I could bring to my family and mail to my family was enlivening. It was very enlivening. Oh, that's the third part. The first part is that a gift, and by the way, if you find yourself not in this place, just recreate it, just reframe it. First, the gifts that you've bought others are the ones because you want them to know that you care about them and that you love them. Secondly, assign the gift. Give the gift a totem. Give it a magic. Assign it what you hold them to be in their unique and essential aspect of creation. And third, can't forget the third magic. The third magic is, what does it provide for you? What does it bring to you? What does it open up for you? I don't mean in a mental, psychological, gotta cure myself of trauma kind of way. I mean the essence, the vibrational essence of life itself. What vibrational essence of life itself does the gift that you purchase for another provide you? Then one of the three can be weak. Either you letting them know that you don't know if it will let them know how much you care about them. There may be messes around that in the relationship. You may not want them to know how much you care about them. I don't know. A lot of cantankerous weirdness happens in the surface playing field of human being in their relationships. But you can certainly totem them. You can definitely be in the magic because you've bought them something. You can be in the magic. You can rematrix it and have it be on behalf of connecting them even more powerfully and more strongly into their unique and essential unity with creation, who they are there. And that may be the easiest one to get strong, maybe, I would think. But then where I'm standing, that is what I would think, isn't it? And then the third one, what are you going to have it be for you? The craving exercise 3 and 4, craving what my gift to another is for me is. And then you could sort of rewrite 4, don't tell Electra, at the LOC Institute. I'm just kidding. But you could rewrite 4 as craving what gifting another, or gifting my brother, or gifting my son, gifting my daughter, gifting my younger son, is for me. Craving is gifting. Craving what? Gifting. My gift to my son is for me is gifting me joy. Creates what gifting my gift to my son is for me is gifting me union with my family and with my friends. Even saying it pulls us out of the stickiness of our present reality, and as Nandu said in her from Damanhur, Italy, said in her talk on community, it just puts us in a higher function, higher functioning order of creation, one that operates more in the essence of love, in the essence of joy, in the essence of freedom, in the essence of gifting. And really, honestly, I think it's pretty essential to pull us out of the stickiness of what has been kind of burdened. It's kind of burdened us as humans. There's things that we should or ought to do, and because it's socially correct, but it's also socially a burden. Could be, might not be. I'm not trying to, but where it's a burden matters, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't it matter not to carry a burden of a societal warp that's been shaping the consciousness of humanity for quite a while? Wouldn't it be fun this season to reframe, rematrix, even maybe write a creation exercise or two to return magic? People say, well, I don't know, I can write it or I can think it, but I can't feel it. Well, if you can't get it present, you'll never feel it. If you can't get present your love for another, what I mean by that is if you find that your love for another is warped, that it carries trauma or pain or regret or loss or upset or what's the other one? Blame or insufficiency or mad at. Just rematrix it in the second of the trinity of gifting, because everything's gifting. Everything. You can't not gift and be gifted too. You can't not. And when you're operating in a higher order, when the higher order, you trigger it, you flip your switch, after a while that higher order becomes dominant. Don't think you're skilled. You've got the weight of the world on you. You've got the ancestral linkage to survival and trauma and fear and needing another to survive and having no freedom, that needing another to survive, to just plain be with each other. Surviving your loss, surviving your brokenness, surviving your trauma, surviving your hurt. That's all in there. I'm not taking that away because it's there. Be asking, like someone who ate sugar, like I did, unfortunately, to get rid of the canker sore that it created. It doesn't mean that canker sore defines reality. Not out beyond all right or wrongdoing. So let's take advantage, okay? Let's take advantage of this gifting season. Let's watch and be aware, not try to do. You can. I mean, I'm not taking that away from you. For heaven's sakes, don't make this into a method. I'm just sharing. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about when I sat down. I didn't even know. I don't even like holidays. My memories, oh my goodness, my memories. My memories are pretty sticky in the area of holidays growing up. I actually got sticks and stones one Christmas because I'd been a bad girl to my mother, and my brother got like 40 presents that basically blocked the door to one side of our room where we celebrated Christmas with our big tree. So I got plenty of trauma around Christmas and holidays. I got loads of it. But that's not all that I am, and it's not all you are. And yes, it is definitely what we've identified with as ourself. It's unfortunate, don't you think, that that identifier still lives in our system? That there's still an identifier in our system for trauma and loss. Well, there you are. You got a canker sore. There you are, Daisy would say. There you are, folks. But we could be adults. I don't mean adults in the social sense. Every word I use now is probably laced with landmines. We could be spiritually awake. That fits better. Apologize. Couldn't we? We could be in the struggle of being spiritually awake. Even more fun. Couldn't we? Why not? Have you ever performed, played the piano or sang or done theater or had to do a talk or had to make a presentation at school? You know that butterfly in the pit of your stomach? You know the ones that turn into scorpions and making you nauseous and making you want to freeze and not go forward. You know that freeze thing? Did you just feel the activation? That was fascinating. I wasn't even in that frame. For those of you that don't know, an activation is where I go into the cellular memory of a human being and see what's rising in a fortuitous, operating on behalf of life in unity with all creation way. And, basically maybe sometimes stuck trying to get through the layers of trauma and mental layering of perception. And so we just activate it. So somehow, kind of by accident, I mean, definitely by accident, something just, when I started talking about the freeze frame of the solar plexus in a fight or flight or freeze, all of a sudden the freeze level dispersed and there was more freedom to play. I always know when I'm coming up against the next layer of calcification of trauma. I always know. In me, I always know. I know in you too, but that's not the point. It's not my business. Do you know that? Do you know it's not my business unless you hire me to make it my business? I don't run around trying to lift people's trauma. They're very capable of lifting their own when they're ready. Unless I get hired, of course, and then I'm more than happy to be a resource and partner with you. More than happy to do that. My joy, my skill set. But I always know for me when I'm hitting the next calcified, frozen trauma in my system because I just don't feel well. I don't mean physically, sometimes that's true too. Like, for instance, 2 days ago, I ate a pint of Rocky Road ice cream. Healthy Rocky Road ice cream, it said. But I haven't done anything like that for probably a year or more. I don't know. I can't remember. And I paid for it yesterday, pretty big time. Just feeling like I was at the effect of it was, it's like one of my children once took ecstasy, and I'll never forget it. They came flying in the door and looked at me and said, "I will never take a drug again. It makes me not be myself." And that was it. They never did. I'm not saying which one you noticed. But it was like that yesterday for me. I'll never do that again because I couldn't be myself. I couldn't be present. I couldn't be awake. So I'm assuming I did my first sphere transmission. I think something showed up in me trying to connect. In the connection, I think I got a kickback. I think that's what happened in the kickback. That happens when you go to up level. I don't mean up level just personally, up level in your linkage with creation. There are definitely barriers to that. There's definitely it's just like playing a video game. You gotta avoid the traps and to get to the next level. And one of the traps is negative thinking, thinking badly about ourselves. It's definitely an entrapment. And then this morning my Fitbit was celebrating when I woke up. It had all sorts of little fireworks on my Fitbit vibrating against my arm because I had slept 9 hours and 27 minutes. It was very excited for me. I was very excited for me too because I'd gotten past the boundary marker, the entrapment of whatever I slammed into raising my consciousness and moving out beyond the boundaries of all right and wrong doing, all fear-based thinking, hate, anger, mad, hurt, loss. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll find the next trap. It'll find me because we're just not all the way through the barbed wire yet. But I think we're having more moments of it. But that's a whole longer story. That's a longer story. So it turns out, I think it's the second year this has happened actually. It turns out that Facebook Live is on Christmas Eve day and it will be on New Year's Eve day. How about that? So I thought we would set up a secret party. That's what I thought. Of course, I do think. I'm in the business of thinking, actually, as is the LOC Institute and some of you. So here's what I thought. I thought we'd do this game called Take Territory. And we'd use gifting as the game. Not just gifting of presents, gifting of helping out, washing dishes, whatever, make gifting the lens you're looking through, gifting and being gifted to. But gifting is the field of gifting. And in that there's from and to, and with, and for, and as. And one of the ways that we're going to do this, everybody ready? One of the ways we're going to remind ourselves, because remember, we'll be moving in, we'll be flipping some traps of past-based conditioning. We might go mental. In other words, we might forget the word gifting at all and forget we were doing it. So when you get dressed, if you're not dressed yet, you can do it now. If you're changing the clothes, when you get dressed, have a special article on. You're the one that's going to make it special. So let's say I have a pair of red, really beautiful red nylon spandex underwear, panties. So when I put that on, my Christmas panties, I know that's I'll remember gifting. I'll remember that the day is about exploring gifting and giving gifting a place and taking territory on gifting in the 3 levels. And some of you just came on, I saw. So you might want to listen to the beginning of I'll have it up in the next half hour and you'll be able to watch it. I'll even post it on the WhatsApp thread for all of you. Because it's really exciting in life to use a moment in time, which is now, right now, literally right now. We are in a time where all humanity is confronting celebration. All of it. even those that aren't celebrating one of the three major religions so far, they're at the effect. And I don't mean under the gun. I mean they feel what a massive amount of humanity is being confronted with: celebration. So do we, don't we? And it shows us where we can't, don't, won't. It shows us where we can, will, wanna. Doesn't it? That's called operating in awareness, not operating in point of view, mental point of view. Not operating psychologically, it's just being aware. And inside of that, I'm just going to repeat it. See if somebody can write it down. That'd be very fun. You might have, but I can't look down to read it right now. I'm too busy talking to you. So, gifting, the triangle of gifting. This one, this part of the triangle to see if you're looking at me. Well, it doesn't matter. To my left, that point in the triangle will be letting somebody know you love them and that you care about them, that your gift, whether it's a handshake or a smile or an actual Christmas gift or a Hanukkah gift or any kind of gift, or washing dishes for them, or taking the plate out of their hand, or if it's not raining, Leona and I are going to take Alfie and Kevin to walk at Veterans Memorial Park while C can go to church. Gifting. So the first one is you letting somebody know you love them. The second one, over on the other side, is who you hold in that gift, is in that gesture gift even. There's you, your heart, your soul, your spirit in touch with who they are as a unique and essential aspect of creation. In other words, a higher vibrational activity, a mystical activity, a spiritual activity that you endow, you magic that gift, or that gift is a physical thing, or that gift is a gesture is. And the third is what that gift gives you. What does it gift you back? What do you get to be for a moment? What you get to feel for a moment? What does it gift you back? Or maybe that moment lasts a long time. We'll never know. I'm out for transformation this week. I'm out for operating and stimulating and strengthening higher consciousness in such a manner that as we flip in on Friday we can report. We can report in. We can report in. And you can do it the whole time. You can go into Sacred Space of Rest and Courage group, and you can post your giftings. That takes territory. Why do you think I work virtually? I'm no dummy. Do you understand that right now, with all the trafficking going on at Facebook, right now, you and I in this conversation are streaming out forming information, something coming into formation. That's the magic of the etheric world that we are. It's the magic of our spirit. It's just about building strength, stamina, capacity. Then wherever you are, it is. This power, this magic, it's not in your psychology. It's not in your point of view about your personality or your history. It's not. I'm going to look now to see if anybody wrote down the 3. Would somebody write down the 3? Hi, Gail. Hi, Michael. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm taking a moment to look. Thanks for being with me. It only takes a few. It only takes a few at a moment in time. Why do you think I'll beat the bushes? I'm even coming home early, the day before late, because the only flight I could find on Friday, on the 31st, would put me right over Facebook Live or have me get in too late, and I want to celebrate New Year's in New Mexico. So what do you think? Want to play? That's the theme. That's been the theme in the field of Tantra Mat for 2021. It's the setup, by the way. It's creation, seeing if you want to play. And there's only two things going on. Either you want to play or you hope things turn out and you get to be there. Or you hope things turn out and you're not there. What do you think? What do you think? It's up to you. So every day when you get up, and it should happen synchronically. That's why I don't want to try. I want to play because the other thing to report in on is, does it seem to happen naturally? Because we're really at work to have the natural order of things rise. And the natural order of things is fun and play and joy and freedom and love and tenderness. That's the natural order of things. Natural. It's the natural order of things. I'm going to stop talking if somebody doesn't start writing the three levels, the three points of the triangle. Come on, play with me. It's so easy to be deer in headlights right now. Our mental mind is not organizing itself the way it used to, and yet it's not organizing itself proactively yet either. And every year, 2019, 2020, and now 2021, we need the thank you, Beryl. Thank you. I was tongue-tied without it being streaming into the web. Because we're at this, I promise you, with everything in me, we're at a boundary. We're at one of the entrapments. It's why we're kind of in a mental conflict. Thank you, every one of you that's writing it. Because, see, there's this mental fugue state in our head. All of our heads. Nobody's not in this. I have this seminar, the first seminar, the other, and I'm actually having to listen to the recording of the summary of the seminar every single morning, because I go into the brain processor is literally been stuck in trauma-based thinking, trauma-based perception. Promise. I promise. And every now and then, one of the wiring shorts out, and woof, you have a higher moment. You have a moment where you're out beyond it. But then you begin to notice there's some others, and then pop, and then pop, and then pop. Honest, it's not you. It's not your identity. It's not your history. It's not your circumstances. It's not your point of view about others not loving you and you not being loved or cared for or whatever's going on. That's just your neural wiring. Someone on this thread, and I hit one of those conflicting neural moments a week or so ago. And we had to hold in. We had to hold in because everything is trying to pull us back, suck us back into the trauma-based reality. She doesn't love me. I did something wrong. I'm going to lose her friendship. All that is trauma-based wiring. That is not an identity. Honey, all of you, Tantra, this is not identity. Frankly, identity is want to play. If it honestly, remember being a kid, all you thought was, who can I play with? Who wants to play with me? Imagine the trauma that set in at that age when it's the natural framework of who you came to be. And I am so excited about today. It all started weird because my daughter asked me to spend this Christmas Eve with her, and that kind of C and I go our own way most of the time, almost all the time, actually. We're very involved with our own existence and very busy about our worlds. So all I did was ask C if I could use the fireplace room for Christmas Eve night because my daughter wanted to watch a movie and build a fire and spend it with me. And then magically, this is the gifting thing. If I can just get this across, and thank you, Yvonne, you just made me laugh. And and if I can just get this across, I don't mean across to you, your identity. I mean pierce that friggin' neural wiring so it lets go. It gives. That's why I want to play this game for a week. Every day, somebody can write this down too, put on a special piece of clothing, give it special. Doesn't have to be special beforehand. Mine is my red panties today. And then tomorrow, I don't know, I might make my Fitbit my special thing. But it messes with that neural wiring that won't let you remember that you're in a game that you created with others in the field of creation called gifting. Okay? You've got to fight the neural wiring. And the only way you can do it is create a game to play. It's the only way you can do it. This is Falco was so brilliant about in Dominator. But I set you up to play games? Shasta, Mimsies, I Magi, I Guardian. They're not foolish games. They're trickery. They're magical trickery so that the neural wiring thinks it's a game, doesn't think it's real, doesn't register it is real. And in our identities that are formed from that traumatized neural wiring, just as playing a game. Just as playing a game. Thank you, Yvonne. And make it special. And then let's see how natural it starts to happen. In awareness, not in doing. But like catching yourself at the grocery store, thanking the butcher for the shrimp and realizing that was a gifting. That kind of self-realization stuff. Let's just take territory. Why not? We've got this buku amount of humanity gathering, confronting celebration as the potentiality of a reality. We can mess with the energetic fields of all of existence, all of human existence right now, including our own, of course, and for a week, and then we'll see. Come on early next week. Come on early and write what you noticed, or write all week. It isn't about sharing. It is about sharing, but that's the lower one. That's the surface one. But up here, it's about penetrating the field. It's about taking territory. So that what operates on behalf of life and has this exist as whole gains footage, can take territory. Because we don't have these moments, and particularly now, and maybe for a few more years, everybody, we may not have a lot of collective confronting celebration moments. We might not. Because so much is changing. So much is going out of existence. We have biological transformation going on. We have ontological, the nature of being transformation going on. Believe it or not, we have governmental transformation going on. But it's moving very slowly over about a 6 or 7 year period. And it'll be hard sometimes to be in the face of that. Underneath all the unworkability, there are new shoots, new tendrils of existences starting to rise. Today, when I was in my sphere work, it's this transmission thing where you receive and send information. That's the simple way to put it, just for fun. But I've been receiving and sending information for, I can't even remember, probably 3 years old. So it's pretty innate for me. But it's been kind of challenging to be inside of a system that actually thinks about sending and receiving. I didn't even realize how innate and natural it was for me. And if you, I want to be able, and I'm going to forget people, so somebody either post it on here or make me post it on here, because there's this great quote from Michael Van Shriver, and he talks about what a human being as the nature of creation is, that it's always informing. We're always forming. We're always forming. And we're always inside that forming. Always inside it. Where there's no not always being in formation. There's never not. And when we get calcified, it's simply when we forget we're in formation. And frankly, for me, I think time slows down. And so we don't see the greater time curve where things are actually changing. But anyway, in this sphere transmission, 2 things happen, and I'm going to put them here. Hi, Jim. Hi, everybody, by the way. Van Shriver, V-A-N, and then S-H-R-I-V-E-R. Or it might be an N-E-R. Can't remember. Michael Van Shriver, he's a Ayurvedic practitioner, but he's a wise man. He's just an amazing human. And his way of thinking thinks in the higher road, in the up-leveling of consciousness that we're all busy participating in. But there were 2, I got really clear information this time. Yeah, 2 words. Van and Shriver is C-H-S-A. Sorry, I'm starting again. See that mental thing that happens where the deer in headlight happens when the whole brain shuts down because it's going out past the edges of its capacity? It's Van, V-A-N, and the next word is capital S-C-R-I-V-V-N-E-R. That's his name. He's lovely. Magic. He's magical in the truest sense of the word. So the 2 transmissions. The first transmission was fascinating. So we'll see, because we can track 2, can't we? Yeah, without the H, Siobhan. Thank you for this. Without the H. And you got it. And maybe without the N, but I can't remember. But we'll go that far. Do you know what she's doing? She's giving him a place. She's putting him in the territory. When you all wrote it out, and how many of you tried to really be clear about what you were writing out? We're working with neural wiring. We're literally working on bringing our focus in. Thank you, Heather. Bringing our focus in such a way that we get placed in the territory of creation so powerfully and so magically. Nothing can ignore us because we become part of informing the field. That's what the creation exercises are. We in-form. We are in the forming of the field with creation, and then creation is with us in the forming of the field. That's what we're doing today. And we're in a powerful moment of time because people are confronting celebration as a territory, as an activity of existence. And that's when we can really play. Really play. So you all now don't have to listen to the recording that just came on. You can just read the game. And if people want to write it again and keep creating clarification, it increases our neural capacity to operate synchronistically in the game without ever having to remember it. It becomes innate. We begin to notice it in hindsight. We begin to recognize it as we're doing it. Seriously cool. So here are the two. The first one fascinated me. And they were direct transmissions. So I trust those. They always show up. I once was part of a sleep study at Indiana University in my 20s, and you kept a diary for the whole 3 semesters. And they kept it with you. And then you would say, I think I had a deja vu about something I dreamed. I had the highest percentage rate. It was unbelievable, my percentage rate of how many things I dreamed them before they occurred. That's called precog. So I'm very excited to be in this kind of work. We're all precog, by the way. We all exist before the manifestation of the existence happens. Do you understand that? That something's already real before your physical system ever registers it. You're already doing it. And it's already happening before it ever registers here. So every time you're shifting the context and the content of what you want reality to be, you've already done it. And then it's just how long it takes to print out here. That's why I'm interested in time. That's why I love the creation exercises. They literally shift time into happening faster. So you can imprint the future and have it show up in the now much faster. So the two. I'm a little wandering. I can feel your all's energy. It's so awesome right now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the first one was actually a volcanic eruption in the inner earth. In other words, underneath the planet, underneath the surface. It doesn't erupt to the surface. But it is registered, and it creates, underneath the earth, earthquakes. At the very same time, in the transmission, in the receiving transmission, there's an odd, looks like a black hole anomaly near either a space station or a space satellite that is noted. And at the very same time, something where South America and Central America come together, some other kind of geopathic anomaly. And it makes the people of the earth, those that hear about it, it creates an eerie feeling. So that's the first one. The second one was in the desert, because I think I'm getting a lot of desert transmissions because I'm in the desert, and therefore the geopathic consciousness of desert and its people register for me probably more soundly. But it was a militant group of young men and women. But this militant group was operating on behalf of goodness. They were literally creating a supply chain and protecting that supply chain against smugglers and those that would use the needs of the people against the people, and that's in formation, and that will be ongoing. No idea where. I definitely felt it was Iraq and Syria and that area, obviously. And then what we do is when we get these transmissions, then in Dominar they look for evidence of it, because that, just like in this conversation, that informing the field and being informed by the field becomes the actual magical operation of a human being. Not what's going to happen to me and what's going to happen to my children and what's going to happen to the world. Bull, bull, bull. It's called sitting on the sidelines, not using your noggin properly. Okay. I feel just about transmissioned out now. I feel the power of the transmission today, shifting me back, sort of like a little toggle state, moving me back into my relative norm. So just to complete, then C came and we were talking about how different it is to be single and to have never had her own family. And invited my daughter and I to maybe have dinner together or go to the luminaries together. And then the magic just started. Like at time, because I know magic through time, then time began to 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 wobble and let go. And she's going to church at 3. And then last night, Leonda did not know that. She said to Mom, "Why don't I come about 3? Because it's going to rain, so I can't go up in the high mountains with Kevin, and we'll just figure out what to do." So now C can go to church. We can watch Alfie and Kevin. Watch Alfie for her while she's gone. And if it's not raining, we'll take Alfie and Kevin on a walk at 3. And then we were going to go, my daughter and I work out at the gym 4 to 5. So now we can go to the gym when C gets back, and we'll get there between 4 and 5 to work out together at my gym. And then we'll come back and have dinner together. And then we'll watch a movie together under the fire. And we get to be a family. We get to give each other the gift of family. Isn't that cool? That's what I mean by synchronic occurrence. That's what I mean by the ability to play and not be caught in thought patterns that you think are going to repeat themselves the same way they did before. And I wish I could give you the timepiece, but the timepiece is really the synchronic timepiece where at the beginning of the call I said, does anybody notice that their pressure of their to-do list seems to be interrupted by some other kind of synchronization? That's a whole nother topic. It's the one I thought I was going to have today. But I just want to end with, you're always my gift. Always. Maybe someday human beings will be able to register the deep intimacy of each other's heart and not have this stupid mental misconfiguration always in the way. This sheltered identity, this deep emotion that is so hard for human beings to be comfortable with. But in my privacy, I carry you in my heart. You are my heart. I would not have lived this long without you. I would have not stayed. I wouldn't have wanted to without you. I really would love to have a few of you notate this particular date, because I think this is the new language rising, not my words. The words aren't there yet. The resonance, the vibrational frequency of unity with another in the field. We don't yet feel common to it. We aren't comfortable in its skin yet. But I promise you it doesn't change. It's there with all its glory. And that we're being saturated by it, imbued by it. It's our gifting to each other. And it's the fundamental essence of creation. And I think we'll begin to get its language. I think that our mental state will move out of a trauma-based protective covering and move into true resonance with another in the field, including ourselves, by the way, our multiple selves. And maybe even with the world itself, who knows? It doesn't take many. It only takes a few. And the rest of the world need never know. Why bother if everybody starts to be happy? If life starts to be real in a manner that has not been available before? layers of consciousness all operating on behalf of life and what has us exist as whole, and settling into the discovery process and the awareness process of that as our eyes dismantle as trauma-based reflections of realities of separation and move into new identification systems of being in unity with all life, ourselves and each other, as unique and essential aspects of creation. Being in the game of life as the game of life is always designed to be. I love you. I love loving you, and I love the love I feel in you. Happy celebration. Put on those red panties.